I get to sit on a kitchen stool in a federal government uniform in a little theater sharing my truth. They put a soapbox under my feet and a microphone in my hand, and I get to get even. The expectations for Black women when I was growing up was that you became a domestic servant or would work in agriculture. And that would have been my choice, or at least my fate, except that I married Mel Reid. Mel was in his senior year at the University of San Francisco, playing left halfback for the San Francisco Dons, and what 19-year-old wouldn't prefer that? So I completely escaped that life of servitude. I worked in a Jim Crow segregated union hall. I stood at my little window making change of addresses for the people who lined up at my window, and I really assumed that all the shipyard workers were Black, because the only people I saw were the people who came to my window. It was the time when formal racial segregation entered my life. Mel and I thought nothing of going out and buying a lot in the suburbs, but without realizing those people are out there to get away from people like us. And we went through 5 years of death threats. My third grader was the only Black kid in the school the semester that we moved into our new house. The fundraiser of the PTA that year was a minstrel show, and all of the teachers and the administrators were in blackface. That was suburban life in 1953. 20 years later, that same community sent me to represent them as the McGovern delegate to the Miami Convention. I immediately recognized the sites that formed the park were all sites of racial segregation. There was nobody in that room that had any reason to know that but me. And I realized there was no intention to leave my history out, but my history would never be told, and that there were so many stories that were not being told. There's a rich Mexican-American history. There's a Japanese-American history. This was all American history. And so I became actively involved in the early plans to be sure that that history was not omitted. At this point, I'm working a 5-hour day, 5 days a week. I give 3 to 5 presentations in our little theater. Little because it's only a 48-seat. I sell out like Hamilton, you know. It is my honor to present to you the President of the United States.
Thank you, Betty, for that introduction, for your extraordinary service.
I am still having first experiences at 96. I wake up every morning and shoot out of bed because I can't wait to see what next week is. I don't expect to retire at all. I'm going to go straight from the park to the cemetery.